Hello, I'm Holly Payne and welcome to another Seatrade Cruise podcast. Joining me today is Theodora Riga, Director of Strategic Communications at the Port of Thessaloniki, who was appointed President of MedCruise in September. Welcome, Theodora.
Thank you very much, Holly. Thank you and the entire Seatrade team for reaching out for the first of what I hope will be many podcasts among Seatrade and MedCruise members.
Firstly, what motivated you to run for president of MedCruise?
Well, in my opinion, leading is serving. Ever since I can remember, I always loved to serve. I have served as a member of the board of directors of the MedCruise family, representing different Mediterranean cruise ports. In the last 3 years, I have represented the Port of Thessaloniki, a rising port. During this period, there has been a significant transformation from a port with less than 10 annual calls before the pandemic to a port with more than 80 calls. Therefore, I know through experience the needs of smaller, in terms of traffic, port members of the MedCruise family. Before that, I served on the board of directors representing one of the major ports in the Mediterranean and its adjoining seas, the Port of Piraeus. Therefore, the needs of larger ports hosting over 1 million passengers a year are also very familiar. I'm devoted and have the professional experience to represent and serve the interests of all MedCruise members and promote our shared interests regardless of size, region, or country, and really wanted to make this exceptional port family's positive impact more consequential for each and all of our 159 port members and 59 associate members and honor our association.
So what is your vision then, Theodora, for the future of the association?
MedCruise will be 30 in 2026. Since its foundation in 1996, MedCruise Association has grown to be the largest port association in the world with significant achievements. All forecasts suggest an increase in cruising in the coming years. MedCruise, through the collective actions of our membership, can be instrumental for economic, environmental, and socially sustainable growth for ports, destinations, and all stakeholders in the Mediterranean and its adjoining seas. It is in this environment and having the valuable experience of serving as a board member in 2 different consecutive terms, I believe MedCruise could be the most influential cruise port association in the world. So my vision is that over the next years, we will continue to do what we've done so well. We will upgrade our activities and achieve more together. And in short, to achieve sustainable cruise growth together.
Well, I'm very excited, Theodora, to see how the association develops under your leadership. So thank you for that insight. And you've told us about some of your experience and in particular, your understanding of the larger ports and also, the smaller sized ports. But tell us a little bit more about your role at the Port of Thessaloniki.
Well, my role at the Port of Thessaloniki includes leading public relations, corporate social responsibility, sustainability and environmental strategy, and of course, the responsible development of cruise at the port. All this falls under the neat title of Director of Strategic Communications of THPASA, Port of Thessaloniki, and includes a tremendously inspired team of professionals. Our purpose is to protect and strengthen the Port of Thessaloniki's image and reputation with the mission of overseeing all communications involving the port, including the development and implementation of the communication strategy and collaboration with all stakeholders for the company's sustainability strategy. Also a member of the board of directors of Thessaloniki Tourism Organization, which is an associate member of MedCruise, and the Hellenic Chamber of Shipping representative on the Hellenic Government's National Cruise Committee.
Wow, That's wonderful. And I personally had the pleasure of visiting the Port of Thessaloniki a couple of years ago and was really impressed by the wonderful work that was going on. There were a lot of developments at that time in terms of infrastructure and enhancements being carried out. And I know that as a result, subsequently, there's been an increase in the number of cruise calls since then. So that's marvelous. So thank you, Theodora, as well for that insight into your role there. And you've been in the industry for some time, and this is something that you're using your experience to bring to your role at MedCruise, your new role of president. But what area of the industry in particular are you really passionate about?
Well, during this mandate, I'd like to focus on a number of items. All of these fall under the realm of promoting sustainable cruise growth in the Med and its adjoining seas, upgrading relationships and networking with cruise lines, improving the public image of cruising, sharing best practices and information, generating knowledge, addressing the regulatory challenges, representing MedCruise in international fora and shaping initiatives and policies. And of course, also whilst continuing the transformation of MedCruise to a modern business association. There's a lot to do, and I'm really, really excited.
That's very exciting to hear. So, this is modernizing and developing the association even further. But in particular, do you plan on continuing the push towards greater sustainability?
Very much so. This is one of the most important aspects because if something is not sustainable, it does not continue. And MedCruise and cruise in general is growing. But I think it's more multidimensional marketing activities and stakeholder engagement that will be supported by data that will be important. For example, upgrading networking opportunities for ports, destinations, associate members, stakeholders, and upgrading, of course, the cooperation with CLIA, reaching dynamic markets, promoting the Med and source markets. The destinations make such a positive impact with cruise activities, but we'd like to make this impact more measurable and more well known. And I'd like to work with those that can promote the cruise industry, but also reverse any negative perceptions. Critics have something to say, and I'd like to address their perceptions with data to explain to them what the actual situation is. And of course, events-wise, we have a lot of great events planned as well.
That's great to hear, Theodora. In particular, your talk there about bad publicity. I think that there will be many people who really appreciate that, what you're saying, and the effort to tackle that problem. So, going back to your past and your record working within the cruise industry, what led you to pursue a career in this field?
Well, interestingly enough, it was perchance that I began working in the shipping industry in the beginning in 2005. I was interviewing for a position in the banking sector, actually, and had received two offers, both from CEOs. Meanwhile, one of the CEOs called the contact that arranged my interview to thank him for sending me to the interview. It happened this contact was vacationing with a Greek shipping tycoon who overheard and said, "Why are you sending amazing candidates elsewhere? I'd like to meet this person too." So we met, and since I already had two amazing options, I asked for the sky in terms of my offer, and he said yes. So I got really, really, really busy working and had amazing results in terms of strategic communications, marketing, public relations, commercial aspects, and even changed some laws along the way. Then it was in 2017, I accepted an offer for a position at the largest port in Greece, encompassing all of my previous experience, and it just felt great to finally be in an organization where all my previous colleagues and competitors were now all partners and they needed me to serve. The rest is just history.
That is really interesting, Theodora. To hear you share this with us is really wonderful. So, thank you. It's been a really inspiring discussion, and I, for one, am really looking forward to seeing what the future holds for the association and seeing your aspirations come to life during the course of your mandate. So thank you. It's been a pleasure, Theodora, and best of luck in your MedCruise role. Thank you for listening to this Seatrade Cruise podcast. Don't forget to head over to www.seatrade-cruise.com to find out more about podcasts and latest news and other events that may be coming up. Bye-bye.